So this video is about the design contests that we do, that I come up with and we create relative to using 3D pens and 3D printing, and using the concept of tournaments and design contests to really engage kids in schools and people in these processes. So I'm going to talk about how it started, right? And then we'll talk about where it's going over the time. There'll be plenty of time to do that. But it started thinking about, of all things, the War of 1812. Here's how I get there. So in 1814, which was, I guess, this summer in August of 1814, that was the 210-year anniversary of when the British warships came into the Baltimore harbor. And this was just within several weeks after they had gone up the Potomac River, landed in Washington, and really burned the place down, like literally burned down the Capitol, and that was in 1814. And so they left Washington, D.C., coming up to Baltimore, thinking that, if they take out Baltimore, they could sort of kill the chances of this young country to stay a young country and to go back into the British fold. What they didn't know was that the South Baltimore shipyards were creating these boats called skippers. And man, these were fast, light. They were able to maneuver quickly, but they carried a huge punch, like the same kind of punch that some of the large British warships carried. And so as a result of the innovation, knowing the local waterways and methods, as a result of that innovation and a result of that kind of boat, they kicked some British ass in August of 1814, sending the sort of wounded, embarrassed British mighty naval warships back across the Atlantic, licking their wounds. So the idea for me was to use that historic moment and to enliven the use of technology around 3D printing with 3D printing boats and ships, vessels. And so the design contest was around 3D printed vessels. In the process of applying for a grant here or there, what happened was I gave it to this lady who was using to do our fiscal agency. And when she looked at it, she was like, really cool. I would not write a check. She said, how in the world does that matter? That doesn't matter to the people in South Baltimore, man. That ain't got to do nothing about poverty, nothing about homelessness, or, no housing available. Why don't you do something with that instead of talking about some historical notion? And wow, that kind of knocked me back a little bit. And as a result, I came up with the new concept, the low-cost 3D printed housing design on water concept, and I'll be talking more about that in the next video.